Which MBA specialization should you choose and what roles you can take up after MBA? In terms of salary as well as in terms of skill alignment, which specialization and role would be the best fit for you? काफी legitimate concern रहता है for any MBA aspirant and इस वीडियो में ये सारे doubts clear करेंगे. And we will be going through the roles one by one and the specific specialization required for the same, and for the salary numbers we will be using IIM Ahmedabad's placement report. But remember, do not go into the absolute numbers, rather use these numbers as a benchmark to compare across different roles. And we start with consulting. If you see the IIM Ahmedabad's placement report, the median CTC for consulting had been 33 lakh, the minimum CTC had been 23 lakh, and the maximum CTC had been 56 lakh. So yes, the salary range can go upwards of 50 lakh as well. But yes, one good thing about consulting is that most of these numbers you would see would be around fixed component. 70 to 80% would be around fixed component. Yes, there would be certain variable bonuses, then joining bonuses as well, but a huge component would be, a large chunk of this would be in the fixed component only. So you can expect to be earning a lot of this particular CTC package that you see in terms of your in-hand component as well. And what specialization is required to get into consulting? Honestly, there's no one specific specialization that will get you in consulting, but usually people who get into consulting have taken a lot of strategy courses, have done a lot of strategy work in their during their MBA as well, and a lot of other fields as well. Whether you were from finance, operations, you have done a lot of quant subjects or even marketing subjects, you can still make it to consulting, because consulting needs diverse people, needs people from diverse backgrounds. So that's why there is no such specific specialization that if you're not from this specialization then you cannot go into consulting. But yes, a lot of people prefer strategy courses. If they are very sure that they want to get into consulting, they end up doing a lot of these strategy courses. The important thing that you should consider along with the salary while choosing any particular job is the work life and the skills that is required to get into that job. So work life for consulting will be hectic. Just take it for granted that whichever company you are in consulting firms, mostly it will be difficult for your work life balance, and you can expect 12 hours, 14 hours every day. You would be working, weekends are usually free, but 14 hours every day is very normal work for a consultant. And now coming to the skills required and whether you will enjoy the work or not. First of all, you should be very comfortable in presentations and speaking to people, presenting your thoughts and articulating your thoughts and ideas to other people. That is one skill that every consultant definitely needs. Apart from that, number crunching also becomes important. You will be building models, you will be working a lot on Excel, drawing insights from that data, putting that into presentation. So number crunching also becomes important. And at the same time, you should enjoy travel as well. As a consultant, you can be expected to travel a lot. If you don't enjoy traveling, if you don't enjoy staying in hotels for a long time, then probably consulting life might get difficult for you. And in consulting, you should realize that you will be thrown a lot of unstructured problems. That is, you won't have a clear path that you will do X plus Y plus Z and then you will get the answer. You will be thrown unstructured data, you will be thrown unstructured problems, and then you have to structure it, make meaning out of it. So there's no one clear defined path. If you're looking for a job where you have just one answer or very specific answers from which you can choose, then probably consulting is not the right fit for you. You can have multiple answers in consulting. In fact, everything will be very unstructured in the start of the process. If you want to be spoon fed, if you are someone who does not like to take up those challenges, probably consulting will get very difficult. You will have absolutely no idea where to head, in which direction to go in the start when your any particular problem statement you are starting, or any case that you are starting, any project that you are starting. You will have absolutely no idea. You need to build those building blocks. So that's an ideal skill for a consultant. If you don't enjoy that kind of work, probably you will hate consulting. Next, the growth options are unlimited in consulting. You do multiple projects in a short span of time, so great exit options you have. At the same time, your learning curve is very steep. You are doing so many projects in such short amount of time that your learning curve will be very steep, but obviously it comes at the cost of work life balance, longer hours as well. But yes, you also get very good salary in consulting. Next, coming to finance roles, if you see the median CTC, it had been 40 lakh for IIM Ahmedabad, and if you see the minimum CTC, it was 18 lakh. The maximum CTC was 1 crore 46 lakh. So you can see it is a wide, very vast range. Unlike consulting, it's a very vast range, and the reason for that is the salary differs a lot in the kind of role that you get into finance. For example, if you get into investment banking, venture capital, private equity, those are the kind of packages that you see. 1 crore above package that you see, it would have been either for an investment banking firm or a private equity firm for sure. And apart from that, there are many different roles as well. For example, corporate finance, retail banking, where the salaries will tend to be on the lower side, maybe 25 lakh, 20 lakh for IM graduates, maybe even less than 20 lakhs for retail banking. So there are many different roles under finance. Which role you choose, that basically determines what exactly is the package that you will enter into. And specialization and courses, obviously you need to do MBA in finance. A lot of these courses, for example, financial statements, then financial modeling, valuations, these are very common. Apart from that, also there will be many courses. So you will be dedicated to the finance field itself. You'll be doing multiple courses in the finance field only. Most of the people who wanted to enter into finance field have taken up most of the finance courses only. Then there's no scope to take up other courses, like very less scope to take up other courses in marketing and stuff. First year you learn everything, and second year it becomes very specialized related to the finance courses that you take. So that is one thing about finance. And also, if you have CFA credentials, then it becomes easy to enter into jobs like investment banking, private equity and stuff. But if you do not have those kind of degrees, and if you have not done very well in your finance subjects in your B school as well, then the other finance roles obviously will be open for you, but at the same time the salary will be very different. So do not take finance that if you do MBA in finance you will be earning X amount of salary. After MBA in finance, which role you enter, that is what you need to be careful about. And if you see the work life for finance roles, again for investment banking, private equity, it's very difficult, even more difficult than consultants. You might be working 14-15 hours on a regular basis. Some of the weekends as well might not be free for you. You might be working during the weekends as well. So yes, it is very hectic, much more hectic than consulting, probably one of the most hectic jobs that can exist, investment banking especially. So that is one area that you need to be concerned about. And at the same time, corporate finance, retail banking, these have slightly easier work life balance. Probably you would be working 10 to 12 hours every day in corporate finance or your retail banking kind of roles. Slightly easy compared to investment banking, but that is what the pay difference also comes into the picture. If you see the skills required, the numbers are very important. You will be working a lot on Excel, building a lot of models and stuff. If you don't enjoy numbers, if you don't enjoy working with numbers, it's going to get very difficult in finance. At the same time, you should be very good with your balance sheets, cash flow statement, and those kind of financial statements as well. If you do not enjoy those balance sheets, assets, liabilities and stuff, then it is definitely not for you. If you don't enjoy a lot of modeling on Excel, then probably finance is not for you. So definitely those are some aspects. And at the same time, in investment banking and in other roles as well, you will be selling to a lot of people. Even if you're an investment banker, you will be selling your product to some, say, prospective clients. You will be selling your prospective clients to their buyers. So you will be doing a lot of selling as well. So if you think that if you do finance, then the only thing that you have to do is just sit on your laptop and stuff, it's not going to happen. It might happen in some of the back end roles, but in most of the front end high earning jobs, you have to sell. You have to go out, talk to people, and sell your product. And talking about the growth options, again, the starting salary itself is so high. The growth options are obviously there, but it becomes very specific to a specific field. For example, investment banking, if you have entered, then you would be very useful for investment banking firms, might enter into VC or private equity later as well. But the idea is it becomes very restricted to a finance space. For corporate finance as well, most of the CFOs that you see, you rise up the ladder 10 years, 15 years, 20 years within the same company. You are within the corporate finance arm, and after that you become a CFO of a company. So that's the trajectory that they follow. So growth options obviously are great in finance, and at the same time the initial salary itself is so high that the growth as well, if even if it's a 10% rise or 10% hike every year or a 15% hike every year, it's great because your initial base, the salary at which you start, it that itself was so great. Next, we'll move to the marketing domain, but before that, let me tell you, if you want to pursue MBA in any of these specialization, especially if you want to pursue online MBA, suppose you're already working and you do not want to leave your job and pursue an online MBA, then obviously you need to be very careful about the kind of university that you are choosing so that it is government approved, and the credentials that you get after your degree should have value as well. And that is where the partners of this video come in very handy. That will help you verify all the government approved universities, and that is College Vidya. So you can go to the website and let AI find the best universities for you. So you can select the course you want to pursue, fill in a few details, and let AI match you with the top government approved online universities. After that, you can talk directly to university officials, get free career counseling from College Vidya experts, or connect with alumni as well for real insights. And you can also compare universities across 30 plus factors, including fees, approvals, placement ratings, and even EMI options. So आपको 100% authentic university connections मिल जाएगा, free career booster programs मिल जाएगा worth 6,999, up to 10,000 rupees CV subsidy मिल जाएगा on admission, and exclusive jobs and internship portal का access भी मिल जाएगा from day one. And College Vidya was also featured in Jio Hotstar's Brands of Tomorrow season 3 for their contribution to online education in India. So if you want to explore the website, the link is there in the description as well as in the pinned comment. You can check it out from there. Next, we come to marketing roles, and for marketing roles, you can see the median CTC has been around 30 lakhs, again 30.2 lakhs marketing and sales. The maximum CTC has been 66 lakh. The minimum CTC has been 25 lakhs. So again, great packages in marketing from the marketing firms as well. But here, remember, you see the maximum CTC as 66 lakh, but that does not mean it's the best marketing job that you can get. A lot of people, especially who get into marketing roles, they prefer the brand over the initial package, because most of the big brands that you see, HUL, PNG, they will offer in the range of 30 to 40 CTC itself. So those are the kind of brands that people prefer to enter rather than taking a very high package role in the initial years, because initial years learning matters. If you are in HUL, if you are in PNG, you tend to learn a lot. You go to the market, there are so many products and the systems are so well established that you learn a great deal from those companies. So that's why in the initial years you will not focus on the salary in marketing, rather you would be focusing on the kind of role that you can get. And for specialization and courses, obviously there is a specific specialization offered across B School's MBA in marketing, and you need to learn a lot of marketing concepts. Obviously the marketing fundamentals are very important, marketing 101 that we call 4 Ps, 5 Cs and everything. After that, branding, creating ads, digital marketing, e-commerce, and a lot of subjects will be there in your particular college as well. So again, a lot of people who take up marketing end up taking all the marketing courses in their specialization. They will have very little time to take up, say, finance courses, economics courses, or anything apart from marketing, pricing, and there are a lot of aspects. For example, all the 4 Ps, there are specific courses on all the 4 Ps as well: product placement, pricing, and stuff. So a lot of marketing courses are offered across universities, across colleges, and you need to special if you are taking up marketing as your role, then obviously you need to go through those courses. And in terms of skills required, if you are not creative, if you don't enjoy doing creative things, then just ignore marketing. It is not for you. In marketing, if you are someone who cannot think about out of the box ideas, or if you are not someone who thinks very tangentially, then marketing might get difficult, because you have to think a lot of ideas which are completely out of the box. In finance or in, say, operations, you're in your laptop, you're thinking in a very set process. But marketing, you have to avoid all those rules. Go, because if you suppose you're a brand manager, you want to create an advertisement, you have to do something new every time. So that is the first thing that you should know about marketing. You need to be a lot more creative here. Along with that, obviously, data analysis, a little bit of data analysis. You would need not intensive data crunching, but you would be analyzing market data and stuff. So that basic Excel and basic number crunching you should have knowledge about. At the same time, you would be speaking to a lot of stakeholders. So stakeholder management is very important, because you will be interacting with us with a large spectrum of people. For example, you will be interacting with the CEOs, senior leaders of your company as well. At the same time, you will be interacting with a salesperson on the ground, with retail stores as well, with distributors as well on ground, who probably do not understand or probably will not be communicating in the professional language that you are expecting. It might be a very informal conversation that you will have on ground, very casual conversation that you will have on ground, and you need to have that range of conversations. So if you are someone who wants to talk only to the CEOs, only to senior management level, probably consulting is the right role for you. For marketing, you need to have that ability to talk to a spectrum of people, from every person who is selling your product on the ground to your CEO as well. Next, coming to general management roles, if you see the median CTC over here, it was 27 lakh, the minimum CTC was 21 lakh, the maximum CTC was 32 lakh. So you can see not a very big difference across median, maximum, and minimum. And the reason for that is most of the general management companies offer, or most of the general management roles offer the same kind of salary. What are these roles? These are offered by conglomerates like Tata, Aditya Birla Group, Reliance, who have multiple lines of businesses. They offer these kind of general management roles. So suppose you enter Tata, so you'd be working across, say, Tata Motors, Titan for a few months, then you might be working in Tata Steel, across all the group companies, Tata Consumer for some time. You will be rotated across these different group companies. You will be working on different projects, and then finally you can choose a particular company as well. So 2 3 years you will be working on that particular company itself. So this is the kind of role that you're offered. It's a kind of a group company, so you can be offered in any particular role in any of the group companies, and you obviously learn a lot of about the group as well and about different companies, because you are rotating across completely different domains. If you are in Tata Motors, you are learning about automobile. If you are in Tata Steel, you are learning about steel industry. If you are in Tata Consumer, you are learning about FMCG products. So very different kind of learnings you can have over here. But the idea is that you will be part of the same group, the same Tata group, and you'll be rotated across different companies. The specialization or courses you need to do for this: no specific specialization is required. No specific courses as well are required for general management. As the name suggests as well, you don't know what exactly you'll be doing in that role. You might be doing finance, you might be doing marketing, you might be doing sales, whatever that is. So whatever you study, mostly these companies hire on the basis of the final interview, on the basis of your profile. They look for leadership skills. That is one very very important thing that they are looking for. A lot of PORs on your CV as well makes sense. That is position, the responsibility that matters if you want to get into general management roles. But the idea is you don't need to worry about any specific specialization or any specific course that you need to do for getting into these general management roles. Next, work life. One of the best work life balance that you can get after your MBA. 8 to 10 hours is what typically I've heard, or even less than that for some people in some of these general management roles. So definitely it's really 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 good in terms of that. And you probably will never get that kind of a work life balance in any of the roles after your MBA. 8 to 10 hours at that kind of a package, completely insane. But the idea is obviously the work as well. Since you're working in the same company, the growth option will also get restricted, because you are part of the same company. At the same time, everything is happening in a slow paced manner. You are working on the same project for probably more than 6 months, 7 months, 1 year, while a consultant would have revolved across or rotated across three different projects. The in someone in general management role might be working in on the same project for a year. So in that way, you might think, yes, it is becoming a bit difficult in terms of growth. You might be doing the same thing for a long period of time. But remember, you are very very important for your specific group. If you are in Tata group, you are very important for that group. If you are in Aditya Birla group, you are very important for that particular group. And the safety option, that is in terms of layoff or stuff as well, this is the kind of role which is very very safe as well. Consultant role, it's in up or out policy. If you don't perform, you will be thrown out. Finance, same thing. If you do a mistake, if you do not show the returns, you will be out. General management is kind of balanced in that way. You will, the safety in terms of your job is definitely there. You become very important for your specific company, for your group. You become very very important. Yes, if you're looking to switch to other companies very soon, then it might become difficult. Maybe consultant will have more exit options compared to someone in a general management role. Next, coming to operations, you can see the median CTC here is 32.5 lakh. The minimum was 30.5 lakh. But you cannot trust IIM Ahmedabad's operations data, because there are only 3 students placed in this role. The ideal college to follow for this would be IIM Mumbai's placement package, or maybe IIT Bombay's placement package, IIT Bombay MBA packages that you have, because those are the good colleges for operations. Usually you can expect in the range of 25 to 30 lakh. Most of the big companies in operations offer a salary under that range only. And which are the top companies here? Amazon, Flipkart, even Uber. Any company needs kind of operations, but any company which has warehouses needs to manage logistics, supply chain. Even the FMCG companies, those are the people who pay a lot to the anyone in the operations role as well. And for in terms of specialization, MBA in operations is a dedicated specialization available across different colleges. You need to do that. Along with operation courses, you will be taken through a lot of analytics courses. You will be taken through statistics as well, because those are the kind of skills required in this particular role as well. In terms of work life, Operations can sometimes get very hectic, can sometimes be very light. It all depends on at what stage you are in your particular company. For example, if you are in Amazon, suppose it's a big billion day offer, you are in that month of October, November, where a lot of those holiday sales are happening, then obviously things will get very complicated. The work life will be absolute hell. It will be 14, 15 hours maybe you are working, but at the same time there will be light periods as well. Maybe you are in the month of March, April, though the things might get a little bit easier in those days. And for different companies this cycle can be very different as well. So operations, it varies a lot depending on which cycle you are in. So you cannot predict that okay, this day will be good or this day will be bad, but obviously you can predict on an average it will be better than consulting. Finance maybe slightly more hectic compared to say general management or marketing roles. And in terms of skills required, here you need to work a lot on your models. Statistics should be good, analytics should be good, number crunching obviously you have to be good with that, but you need to be able to build those sophisticated models as well. If you don't like modeling, if you're not very good with quants, I would suggest avoid operations because you won't like the job. It's not a very simple job that you can just instruct people to go from X to Y and it will be solved. No, you need to build proper models. If you are buying something, if you are say transporting some good, you need to make sure that there are proper models that have been inbuilt. You need to understand which path or which route will optimize your cost, which negotiation or which kind of transport facilities will optimize your cost, which vendor will optimize your cost, and you need to put all of these into a model to predict the best one for you. And sometimes you might need to forecast demand, forecast supply as well, so that you can understand what are the bottlenecks that you can have in future, and all of those things have to be predicted in a model. So a lot of quant aspects, a lot of statistics comes into the picture for operations. And in terms of growth options, I would say it's kind of limited for operations. For operations, you kind of become involved in a specific role. You are learning a particular skill only, and for a longer period of time, you are doing the same kind of job. So that's why it at a point of time it might become repetitive, and at the same time, you have been useful for a specific skill. You cannot take that skill and apply it to any role. Say from consulting, you can switch to marketing as well, but from operations, it will be very difficult to suddenly switch to marketing, or say investment banking. But from consulting you can do that because you're working on a range of projects on very different ideas. But for operations you are working on a specific skill set. So obviously within operations, you can switch across different companies. From Amazon you can go to Flipkart, from Flipkart you can go to Uber, from Uber you can go to Zomato. A lot of these companies require people who have these kind of skills, but the idea is you are restricted to one skill, so your exit options become limited. At the same time, your growth option within the company also starts getting limited unless and until you take those innovative approaches to introduce something new in the company. Otherwise, you would be following the same set of processes, doing repetitive tasks, and it might get difficult to grow in the same company. Next one is product management, and this is very interesting because if you see IIM Ahmedabad's placement report, after consulting, this is where the second highest number of students went for product management. The median CTC 32.4 lakh, the maximum CTC 63 lakh almost, minimum CTC 23 lakh. Again, very good paying job. But the idea here and the thing that you should be careful about is in this case, the variable component, the ESOP component is very high for some companies. The fixed package might be say 20 lakh, 25 lakh, and 30 lakh might be your ESOPs. That will be 30 or 40 lakh might be your ESOPs, which will be vested over a period of say 4 years. So in that way, you need to be a bit careful because your in-hand component will be less. Obviously, you will get those ESOPs in subsequent years. So that is kind of the money that you're earning only. But the thing is, the in-hand salary, if you see, it might look a little bit less compared to your overall package in product management. And in terms of specialization and the courses required, obviously for product management, one thing is very important. You need to do those product courses. A lot of colleges offer MBA in product management only, so product courses are obviously offered. But at the same time, there are some other streams as well that you can take up subjects from. For example, you can study marketing. Basics of marketing becomes very important. Organizational behavior, this becomes very important. Agile and any kind of product concepts, those become very important. And especially talking about organizational behavior, you need to be that stakeholder between the engineering team and say your client. And for being that bridge, you would pass on orders or pass on some work to your engineering team. So that kind of becomes difficult to delegate and at the same time manage different stakeholders as well. So that's why organizational behavior becomes very important course here. But most of the product management companies are looking for that stakeholder management skills especially. the reason being simple, that that is what you would need to do. You need to pass on a lot of business requirements to your engineering team who will be building the product. So how you can make those engineering teams work, how you can make them prioritize your work, those are very important skills in product management, and that is something you need to develop. Along with this, if you have some technical knowledge, then it can be preferred. It's not mandatory to have one, and it differs across different companies as well. But if you have worked in software roles, if you have some coding knowledge, if you have some technical knowledge, then probably it might be easier for you to communicate to your engineering teams, and those kind of candidates might be preferred. But it's absolutely not mandatory. It's just, it might be preference for some of the companies, and it might add some weight to your CV if you're coming from a technical background, but definitely it's not a mandate. And in terms of work life, product management is really, really good. Most of my friends that I talk to, they work around 10 hours per day, which is very good target if you are pursuing any post MBA role, especially at that kind of a salary. So 10 to 12 hours is good enough for product management. Obviously slightly more hectic compared to say general management roles or maybe some marketing roles as well, but definitely much easier compared to consulting or finance. 10 hours every day and no disturbance, no one will disturb you during the weekends. So that's the kind of work you can expect within product management. And the good thing is the growth option within product management is also immense. You will be working on a specific domain, you will be working on a lot of skills, and the idea is that a lot of these companies now are moving towards digitalization, are moving towards requiring different products. So that is where these product managers will come in very, very, very handy. This particular skill is in demand, and that's why the growth options are really huge at this point of time. So if you want a good balance of growth, a good balance of salary, as well as a good balance of work life balance, then obviously this product management role is something that can fit in your domain. Next, coming to HR, and for HR we will not look at IIM Ahmedabad salary numbers because almost no one is placed in HR field. We will look at Accelerize numbers, which is the best college for HR field. And here if you see the average, the median CTC for HR has been 26.1 lakh. The maximum CTC was 35 lakh, the minimum CTC was 16 lakh. And if you compare for Accelerize all the other roles as well, general management 28 lakh, consulting 27.3 lakh, the median CTC, sales and marketing 23.5 lakh, finance it goes to 25 lakh. So you can see finance is less than general management roles, it is less than consulting as well. And why does it happen? As I said, in finance there are many different kind of roles that are offered. A lot of those front end investment banking roles do not come to XRI, which come and hire from IIM Ahmedabad. That's why it absolutely skews the median CTC. A lot of the roles offered in finance might not be in investment banking, or it might be in back-end investment banking. So that is why you see over here general management is offering more median CTC compared to finance as well. And that's why I say, whenever you choose a specialization, do not just choose on the basis of what package that this particular role can offer. Rather choose on the basis of what you will enjoy doing. Because if you are the best at HR, or if you are the best at general management or best at marketing, it is much better than being worst at finance or being just average in finance. Because the kind of role that you will get in finance, the kind of growth that you will get in finance will never be able to match the others. And coming back to HR in terms of specialization and courses, a lot of colleges offer MBA in HR as a specialization. In fact, in XRI you study HR from the first year itself. That is, the specialization is offered and decided from the first year itself. 2 years the entire focus is on HR. And if I talk about the courses, all the organizational behavior courses, those are important. Human resource management courses are very important. And then you might have specific courses for specific skill sets. For example, recruitment, then talent acquisition, there might be a course. For workplace management, there might be a course. For policies, regulations and stuff, workplace management and stuff as well, there might be a specific course. So a number of courses that can be offered within HR as well. And obviously it will take you time to cover all the courses within human resource management. In terms of work life, definitely a very, very good work life that you get in HR. Usually 8 hours is something a lot of people target, and that is what they achieve as well within the HR field. There might be days, obviously there might be days there's a specific event or something happening, then it might require you to extend those hours. But on an average, if you consider, 8 hours should be sufficient. In terms of skills required, you need to be able to talk to a lot of people, and you need to be able to do hard conversations. For example, if a company wants to lay off an employee, it is the HR who has to reveal the news. If HR has to negotiate salaries with different employees, if an employee has not got good appraisal, they can come to the HR and demand what exactly was missing, and the HRs have to explain that. So hard conversations, stakeholder management management, controlling multiple stakeholders, talking to multiple stakeholders, being empathetic is also something which is very, very important in the HR field. And you also should be enjoying event management, because there might be events organized in your specific company. You might need to manage that. There might be recruitment drives organized in certain colleges, so you have to take care of that recruitment drive as an HR. You need to make sure that everything is seamless, the interview panels are there on time, the students are there and are aligned with the processes. So all of those things, a lot of management aspects will come into the picture, because whatever event or whatever happens, you need to do a lot of delegation, you need to manage a lot of timelines. So that's all the roles and specialization that I wanted to cover in this video. Obviously there will be a part 2 of this video where I'll be covering data analytics, founders office roles, startup roles, and a lot of other roles which are growing in the recent years as well. If you want details about any specific role or specialization after MBA, you can let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to address that in the second part of this video. So that's it for this particular video. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel and you are an MBA aspirant, do make sure you subscribe, because you do not want to miss out on these kind of knowledge and updates. So that's it for this particular video. See you in the next one.